السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله أشهد أن محمدا رسول الله حي على الصلاة حي على الصلاة حي على الفلاح حي على الفلاح الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله.
الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهد الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون. يا أيها الناس اتقوا ربكم الذي خلقكم من نفس واحدة وخلق منها زوجها وبث منهما رجالا كثيرا ونساء واتقوا الله الذي تساءلون به والأرحام إن الله كان عليكم رقيبا. يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما. أما بعد إن أصدق حديث كتاب الله عز وجل وأحسن هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وشر الأمور محدثاتها وكل محدث في الإسلام بدعة وكل بدعة ضلالة وكل ضلالة في النار. All praise due to Allah Azza wa Jal. We praise Him and we extol Him and we send أفضل الصلاة والسلام على رسول الله خير خلق الله وعلى آله وصحبه من تبع هدى. أما بعد. Very most truthful of speech is the book of Allah Azza wa Jal, and the finest guidance that of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the most evil of affairs are the newly invented ones, bid'ah. And every innovation in Islam is going astray, and every bid'ah leads to the hellfire. Nasallallahu al-afiyah wa thabat. Today, my dear Salam Iman, we'd like to speak about the importance of life. And are we living a good life? Is our life a blessed life? Or are we living a ma'aishatan danka, a useless existence on this earth? How many of us are living a mundane life or going through our everyday lives by living a life without purpose? Wallah alhamd, Allah Azza wa Jal had blessed us with haya, with life, and we have to appreciate that. Allah Azza wa Jal, He created us and He guided us. And most people are living a very ordinary, mundane lifestyle. They're living day by day, paycheck to paycheck, paying bills, going to school without any purpose or direction in their lives. Alhamd. Nasallallahu al-afiyah wa thabat. Today, my dear Salam Iman, I want us to question ourselves. I want us to be in the habit of questioning ourselves or looking into the mirror of our hearts and our souls and finding out what is the real meaning behind our everyday lives. Is today, bi'idhnillah, by the permission of Allah, and our hope and our ambition to be better than our day was yesterday. Umar ibn Khattab, anhu, he used to say, Hasib nafsik qabla tahasib. Take due account of yourselves before you are taken account of. This shows the great hikmah of Amir al-Mu'mineen, Umar ibn Khattab, that he would remind himself and his followers to take account, due account of himself before we are held accountable in front of Allah. Allah Azza wa Jal, He has reminded us in Surah Mu'minun, أَفَحَسَبْتُمْ أَنَّمَا خَلَقْنَاكُمْ أَبَثًا أَنْتُمْ عَلَيْنَا لَا تَرْجِعُونَ. Do we believe that we were created without any purpose and that we will be not returned back to Allah Azza wa Jal for questioning? So we have to question ourselves now before the moment when we have to stand in front of Allah Azza wa Jal, and we'll be questioned about everything that we have done on this earth. The Prophet ﷺ, he mentions to us explicitly that in our graves we will be questioned. We will be questioned. And he mentioned very clearly that the moment that we are put into our graves, two frightening angels will approach us named Munkir and Nakir, and they will sit us up in the grave. This is something of the unseen, al-ghaibiyya, that we have to believe. الَّذِينَ يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْغَيْبِ وَيَقِيمُونَ الصَّلَاةَ وَمِمَّا رَزَقْنَاهُمْ يُنْفِقُونَ. Allah Azza wa Jalla says, those who believe in the unseen, and we establish the prayer, and what we have been provided, we spend. The Prophet ﷺ, he said that as soon as we are put into the grave, two frightening angels by name, Munkir and Nakir, they will sit us up in the grave, and the questioning will start. Man Rabbuk, Man Nabiyyuk, Ma Dinak. Who is your Lord? Who is your prophet? What is your way of life? We cannot loosely translate deen to mean religion, because as the Yahud, Nasara, Muslim, Jews, Christian, we practice religion in the mosque or in the temple. Rarely do we say Islam is a way of life. Islam should be a way of life. So the way we are living our life on this earth is how we'll be lucid and easy for us. The answers will roll off of our tongues once we're in the grave. There's also an authentic hadith, an authority of Ibn Mas'ud in the Sahih of Tirmidhi, that the Prophet ﷺ, he said that the sons and daughters of Adam, once we are risen up from our graves and we're standing in front of Allah, we will not be able to move from that spot, standing in front of Allah, hatta tas'al al-khamsa, until we have to be asked about 5 matters. We will be asked, we will be questioned about 5 matters. Allah will ask us about our lives. The first question we'll be asked about, and we'll not be able to move, is about our life and how we lived our life and our youth and how we spent our youth. What did we use up our youthly vigor on? And our wealth, how we earned it and how we spent it, and how we acted upon the knowledge that we acquired from Allah Azza wa Jal. Also, in the Messenger of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said another hadith, أَخْتَنِمْ خَمْسَ قَبْلَ خَمْسِ. Hold on to, grab onto, and appreciate 5 before 5. The first thing he said is your youth. We should hold on to our youth as long as it lasts, and use our youth in a productive manner. And before what? We become old. Qabla haramik, he said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam in hadith. Hold on to your health. Appreciate your good health. Use your good health in a productive manner before you become sick. The Messenger of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he says, use your wealth. Acquire wealth. Use your wealth and spend it before you become poor, before you get broke. He said, use your free time. Spend your free time in an appropriate manner before you become busy. Qabla shughalik. You have wife, you have kids, you have school, you have pickup, you have drop off, you have so many things. Qabla shughalik. before you become busy. And he says, take advantage of your life before your death. Another narration, the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, Ahras ala ma yanfa'ak. Be eager over those things which will benefit you. Be eager over those things that which will benefit you, will bring benefit to you. Which one of us are on the lookout for things that will benefit us in the future? The majority of us are living a mundane life. We're living day by day. It's only the person, Rajulun Kays, the wise man, the Zaki, the person who's smart, he's intelligent. They will look at things that will benefit them now for later on in their lives. If we are of that type of individual, then inshallah, we will fall into that category of a person who's not living day to day, or living a mundane lifestyle, what they call it, ma'ishatin danka. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said, the first thing that we'll be questioned about Yawm al-Qiyamah is about our salah. We have to know this, my dear Basalam Iman. The first thing that we'll be questioned about on the Day of Judgment is our prayer. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, if our prayer was good, then we have succeeded. We are successful and we have succeeded. If there is some lacking in our prayer, Allah Azza wa Jal will say, look and see if He has any extra or optional, supererogatory prayers, optional prayers, to make up for the lapses in His fard prayers. And then Allah Azza wa Jal, He will judge all of our actions in a similar manner. So my dear Salam Iman, when Ibn Umar al-Khattab, he said, Hasib nafsik, qabla tahasib. This is a very wise statement, a very deep statement, if we understand. There's also author narration that Umar al-Khattab, he would have his wasiyah, his will underneath his pillow. Every night he would sleep with his will, his last will and testament underneath his pillow. Because we don't know when we're going to die. We don't have a guarantee for the next day that we're living, the next moment of our lives. But which one of us are preparing for that inevitable journey to Allah Azza wa Jal? Most of us are living day to day or moment to moment without any real direction and purpose in our life. And I say this without any tongue in cheek, because now we are following the sunan. الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِكُمْ. The Messenger of Allah said that we will follow the sunan. We will follow the footsteps of those who came before us. Footstep by footstep, he said, Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. Dhira'an bi dhira'an. Hands to band by hands band. If they were to go into a hole of a lizard, we would follow them into it. The Sahabis, they asked the Messenger of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, do you mean the Yahud wa Nasara? The Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, Faman? Then who else? Now we have become just like everybody else. We wake up, we run, and we look for our bread and butter. That's it. This is not the intended lifestyle of a believer. Allah Azza wa Jal, He had created us, not for no foolish purpose. Allah Azza wa Jal, He had given us direction in the form of a book, in the Quran. Let me remind us, my dear Basalam Iman, that we will be questioned. We will be questioned as soon as we're put into our graves. Right now, the test has begun. The moment that we are alive and we're able to pray at 7 years old to 10 years old, as the Messenger of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he said, teach your children how to pray at 7 and beat them at 10 and separate them in the bed. So we must know these things by the age of 10 years old. We have to be in the habit of praying and have responsibility and have accountability over ourselves. And if we are of that type of individual that we are only living to go through the motions, go to school, earn a good piece of paper, to show off, show mommy, show daddy that my son or my daughter, he's entered into school, or he's entering into engineering, or he's becoming a doctor, a lawyer, or so on and so forth. And what is the end result of that? That he's like everybody else. Amr and Zayd and Fatima weren't intended to be like Tom, Dick, or Harry, or Sarah. We're Muslims. We have a higher purpose in life. We are not sent here. We're not put on this earth to live a life like everybody else. They should be following our example as believers. Wallah alhamd. So let me remind us here today, my dear Salam Iman, that we were not created for a foolish purpose. We were not put on this earth for no reason, to just make money, to eat, procreate, and then die. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. There's one very short and comprehensive dua that I like to recite and I like to remind you that we should always recite, especially when we're feeling confused. ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. We have to make this dua constantly. Oh Allah, ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا. Oh Allah, do not cause our hearts to deviate after you have guided us. بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا, and keep us guided on your right path. من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب. You are the most merciful and bountiful, Ya Allah. So as I mentioned at the beginning of our khutbah, I want to speak about the blessing of life. When we look at our lives, do we feel that we are blessed? Or do we look at ourselves and feel that we're wretched, we're damned, we're living a useless life? Because we see on the streets, homelessness is on the rise. Every corner we look in the city, there are tents being set up. People are shooting up and they're using so many different drugs. Why? This is somebody's child. And now he's ended up on the street. He doesn't have any idea how he got there and how he's been on the street for so long. There are so many people living like that day after day. As I mentioned at the beginning, talk about the blessing of life. And look at ourselves. What's the difference between us and those people who are living on the street? There are many people who are just a paycheck away from homelessness. We don't know that. Because alhamdulillah, we're okay, we're all right. But those people who are on the streets, they were much better than us. So many of them. But what happened in their life? What happened in their life? I want to remind us about the blessing of our lives. Although there are many blessings that we cannot enumerate from the Quran, the authentic Sunnah. In the Quran itself and the Sunnah, there are many blessings. But aside from that, there are many miracles mentioned in the Quran. Today I want to touch on the blessing and the miracle. Not only the blessing, but the blessing and the miracle of human embryology. Human embryology. The cycle of the childbirth in the wombs of our mothers. And inshallah, the next time we look at ourselves and we feel depressed, or we feel lousy about ourselves, or we feel lost or confused, let us reflect on this miracle of the human embryology of the self. Firstly, Allah says in Surah Al-Zumar, ayah number 6, يَخْلُقُكُمْ فِي بُطُونِ أُمَّهَاتِكُمْ خَلْقًا مِّن بَعْدِ خَلْقٍ فِي ظُلُمَاتٍ ثَلَاثَةٍ ذَلِكُمُ اللَّهُ لَهُ الْمُلْكُ لَا إِلَهَ إِلَّا هُوَ فَأَنَّىٰ تُصْرَفُونَ. Allah says, He creates us in the wombs of our mothers. خَلْقٍ بَعْدَ خَلْقٍ. Creation after creation. فِي ظُلُمَاتٍ ثَلَاثَةٍ. In 3 veils of darkness. Such is your Lord, Allah. Lahul mulk. He has the kingdom. And then how is it that we are turned away from Allah Azza wa Jal? Today, my dear Salam Iman, we have so many people who are depressed. People are sitting down in the coffee shop for hours upon hours every day, morning, noon, and night. Did we ever think what's going on in these people's lives? There are many people like that. There are hundreds of people, and there are tens of thousands of people in this land of affluency that are living on the streets. They rather live on the streets than to live in a shelter where they're going to be abused. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. And we're living in an era where we have a lot of youth who have a nice home, nice family. But when you speak to them about their lives, they said that I need time to figure things out. Or I just need, a time right now with myself. I'm trying to find myself right now. These are the things that the youth, between maybe 23 to 25 or 27, 19 to 25, they're seeing these type of things as if they don't have any direction in their lives. I need time to figure myself out. I need the time to get a few things straight. What does that mean? What does that translate to? I'm looking for a job. That's life. That's it. That's not the end all in life. I'm just looking for a job. I'm looking for a hustle. I'm looking for something to do. Hasbunallah, ni'mal wakeel. Lost. The majority of the youth right now are lost. Hasbunallah, ni'mal wakeel. Without any direction whatsoever. Full of regrets. Full of past regrets. Present regrets. And they're living in depression. If we are not like that, we have to thank Allah. We have to thank Allah. We have to thank Allah. Give sadaqat and try and lift up those people who are lost, who are seemingly lost. They don't understand the blessing of life. The Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he said to Ali ibn Abu Talib, he said, "Lo yahdi bika rajulan wahid khayran laka min humri ni'am." If you can guide one person, it's better for you than the red camel. Allahu Akbar. We need to remind each other that life is not just like that, about just getting some money and living paycheck to paycheck, or to get some food and bread in our stomach. No. There are many things in life, many things to value and benefit from life. There's also authentic hadith in Sahih Bukhari and Muslim, muttafaqun alayh, on the authority of Abdullah ibn Mas'ud, who said that the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, وَهُوَ صَادِقُ الْمَصْدُوقُ, and he is the most truthful of those who speak the truth. He said that, verily, each and every one of us were brought together in the wombs of our mother in the form of fluid. And then after that, we were brought together in a 40-day period, a fluid. And then after that, we were something which clings, alaq. Hum yakun alaq mithla dhalik. He said we were something which clings for a similar period. Then he said you were a chewed up like lump of meat for a similar period of time. And then after that, we were this type of a thing which is like a clot, a blood clot, for a similar period of time. And then after that, the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah Azza wa Jal sends to that fetus, that thing, Allah Azza wa Jal calls it in the Quran, that thing, an angel. And he sends with the angel arba kalimat, 4 commands, to record on that thing 4 commands: our sustenance, our rizq, our food that we're going to eat, and our lifespan. How long are we going to live on this earth? And our deeds that will be shaqeen or sa'id. Whether we will be happy, we'll live a happy life, or we'll live a sad and miserable life. And the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, to put further emphasis on this point, he said, "Walladhi nafsi biyadi," I swear by the one who holds my soul in his hand, meaning Allah tabarak wa ta'ala, that one of you will do the deeds of the people of the paradise until that which has been written overtakes you and you start to do the deeds of the people of the hell and you end up in the hell. And one of you will be doing the deeds of the people of hell until that which was written for you overtakes you and you start to do the deeds of the people of paradise and enter into paradise. This, my dear Basan Iman, and the ayat before that is a clear message of reassurance that whatever we do, we should try our best. Put our best foot forward. Make a good concerted effort in life. And know that Allah's qadr, qadar wa qadr, His master plan is already written for us before we even seen the light of day. May Allah bless all of us and never have any despair, because a believer should never ta'is min ruhillah. We should never ever be in despair of Allah's mercy. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر وأتوب إليه. بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعه هدى وبعد. First of all, I want to say, may Allah help all of us. May Allah help those who are suffering with mental illness and homelessness and addiction. May Allah cure them and help them and guide them back to the correct path. Ameen. May Allah bless us and help us to remove any type of despair and loneliness and suspicion, and start taking the necessary steps to live a productive life. Allahumma ameen. From what we've mentioned from the Quran and the Sunnah, we have to be able to grasp, inshallah, that Allah He did not create us abatha. Allah mentioned, Surah Mu'minun, He did not create us for no reason. Allah created us for a reason and a purpose. And we look at the Quran and look at the Sunnah, how the Prophet lived his life. He used to put his feet forward, and he used to walk, and he used to be a person of purpose. He dealt with his ashab, his companions, and his family, and with himself, with purpose and ambition. He wasn't a person who just lived a useless life without any direction and purpose. Allah, He had chose each and every one of us, to over 5 billion people on the planet, to be created. Allah chose us to be believers. Out of those 5 billion, we have over 1 billion Muslims, most of them by name, very few by practice. As the old saying goes, many are called, but few are chosen. Allah has chosen few of us. May Allah make us of those chosen few who appreciates the gift and blessing and miracle of life. That we're here, we're alive, and we have the choice to do something productive with our life. We have the choice. Allah, He created us in 3 veils of darkness. Fi dhulamat thalath. And Allah calls us to be here, to see so many things, to meet so many different people in our lives. We're going to come across so many different things. The majority of us have come here looking for greener pastures. Well, alhamd. This, alhamdulillah, is a blessing in and of itself, that we come here by first being born in this miraculous stage, the embryonic stage. That was a miracle in the Quran, found in the Quran. That was only over maybe 100 or 150 years ago that they had the microscope, and they're able to find out about this miraculous thing, this development, this thing that was created inside the womb of our mothers. Alhamdulillah, for the authentic Sunnah to elaborate and explain about the stages of development. When the ruh is blown into the body, into that thing Allah calls it, in that body. And now we're here, puffed up with pride, with arrogance, looking down on others. We have so many different thoughts about each other. This person's of a different caste, this person's of a different creed and color. We don't want to talk. All of this, when we were inside the stomachs of the womb of our mothers, not knowing anything, a sticky substance. We are nothing to be mentioned. This is what we came from. And now we have so much pride. We have so much arrogance. We're intelligent. We look down on each other. Hasbunallah wa ni'mal wakeel. Wallahi alhamd, we have to remember, my dear Salam Iman, that if we have something, let's try and help others what we have. This is a blessing, and it's also a test. If Allah blessed us with something, then look at those people who do not have, and see how we can help them up. See how we can lift them up. They're begging. They're begging because they want to use the money to buy drugs or alcohol. Allah knows best. Allah knows best. We know the authentic hadith of the Messenger of Allah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam about the man will end off with this, who went out at night. He said, I want to give charity. I want to give charity. He gave charity the first night to a prostitute. He found out later that the person he gave charity was a prostitute. He said, I'll try it again. He went out the next night. He gave charity to a wealthy person. He found out the person he gave charity was a wealthy person. He said, I'm going to try it again. He gave charity to another person. And we know how the hadith goes. And the Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said that all of the charity that you given was maqbool. It was accepted with Allah. When we give charity, fi sabilillah, for the sake of Allah, Allah Ta'ala, He accepted with His right hand. Walhamd. We have to understand from this hadith and this ayat that we were created by the qadr of Allah. We were chosen by the qadr of Allah to be here, to be alive. Muslim or non-Muslim. If we see a person suffering, they're confused, they have homelessness, they have a drug addiction, we speak to them as a human being. As a human being. And if we can help them, we try and help them. If we can advise them, know that the ears are listening. And if it's from our heart, inshallah, it will reach to that person's heart. May Allah bless us and give us the tawfiq to be a person who is humble and appreciative for being alive and have a place to live and have food to eat. May Allah bless us in our wealth, in our health, and our iman so we can have a big heart to share with others. Ameen, ameen, ameen. Inna Allah wa malaikatu saluna ala nabi. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu. Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ala ali Muhammad. Kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ala ali Ibrahim innaka Hamidum Majid. اللهم بارك على محمد وعلى ال محمد كما باركت على ابراهيم وعلى ال ابراهيم انك حميد مجيد ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنه وفي الاخره حسنه وقنا عذاب النار.